Now, with the ever-growing influence of social platforms, it is crucial for businesses to harness their power and maximize their impact throughout the entire sales journey. Whether you're a seasoned marketer or just starting, this next session on strategy and practical tips for utilizing social media within the sales funnel. This will be given by Ms. Naila Kouidri, CEO and Head of Marketing at Nestle Communications, Inc., and Mr. Daniel Henkel Enterprises. He will give you a deeper understanding of how to effectively leverage social media platforms to engage your target audience, build trust, and drive revenue. Welcome to the stage, guys.
It's just me. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's just me. So thank you all for coming for our keynote session today. We're going to be speaking about strategy and practical tips for utilizing social media within the sales funnel. Just before starting, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Naila Kouidri. I am from Canada and Algeria. I've been living in Canada for the past 13 years. And my blend of expertise gave me the opportunity to deal with agencies, but also in corporate. So I am the CEO of Nestle Communication Agency, which is a woman-owned marketing agency, and also the head of marketing at Daniel Henkel Enterprises, who is the biggest distribution in the medical aesthetic field in Canada. So today I'm going to be able to give you insights of the agency dynamic, but also bridge the gap with the corporate objectives. I would like our session to be a little bit interactive. So we're going to talk, of course, about the concept of what is a sales funnel, how we can use social media, and we're going to talk about all social media platforms to increase your sales and maximize your sales also. And finally, we're going to talk about how to unlock the power of social media by incorporating AI. So I have one question for you guys. How long do you think the average person spend time on social media per day? 5 hours. 6 hours. 12 hours. So according to a study in North America, an average person spent 4 hours and 15 minutes on social media. So that's around 18% of her day. People not only spend their time on social media, but they also convert on social media. According to a study, the highest ROI when selling products directly in the app, directly on YouTube, directly on Instagram. So the highest ROI, we have 33% on Instagram, followed by Facebook, 25%, YouTube, 18%, 12% for TikTok, and finally Twitter with 6%. So people spend time on social media, but they also convert on social media. And as marketers, that's very important for us. That's a way for us to communicate with them, show us the capabilities of our product, of our service, and make them engage with it. But we can't talk to all generations the same way. Generation Z versus Generation X versus millennials don't use all the same platforms. So my next slide shows you the demographic profile of social media consumers in North America. As you can see, if we look at the age of 18 to 29 years old versus 30 to 49 years old, people who are 30 plus spend more time on Facebook and YouTube versus the younger generation. On the other side, all the younger generation are on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. My point is, you know that people are on social media, you know that people convert on social media, but you have to know your persona to communicate with them. You have to know your persona to make them convert. just to make sure we're all on the same page, what would be a sales funnel for you guys? What would be the phases of a sales funnel? What would be the first phase? Awareness, perfect. You want people to know about your product. You want to introduce your product. What would be the second phase? Consideration. Third phase? Action, meaning you want them to convert to buy your product. And finally, retention. So the first phase is awareness. Your goal is to generate brand awareness and attract attention to a wider audience. What you want is people to know who you are, what you sell, what's your product, what's your service. How can you do that? Your keyword is introduce. Your content strategy on social media needs to be engaging. You need to attract the attention of your consumer. The emotion you're looking for is curiosity. If people are curious, they're going to go dig in about your product. So how can we make them curious on social media? Educational content. Bring value to your consumers. Bring value to your prospects. You want to give them more and make them want more. If you have services, you can give tutorials. If you have a product, you can give samples. You need to make them curious about your product. Storytelling. You have to create that emotional connection, and that we're going to be able to see that later on a case study. But storytelling is very important, and my colleagues said that before. People don't buy products, people buy solutions. People don't engage with a product, they engage with a brand. They engage with values. Differentiation. I know Canada and the US are quite different in this. In the US, you can talk bad stuff about your competitors. In Canada, you can't. But when I say differentiation, what I mean is that you need to show your brand achievements and your brand points of differentiation. What are your brand's attributes? I'll give you an example. SkinCeuticals. Do you guys all know what SkinCeuticals is? For those who don't, it's a cosmetic brand now owned by L'Oréal. And they have serums full of vitamin C, and that they can deal with anti-aging signs. On the other hand, I worked for Alpha Science, which is a direct competitor for SkinCeuticals. Alpha Science, in order to show the differentiation, what they did is that it's not the story of, oh, here's my key ingredients. It's the story of the scientist. That's the guy that we see, which is Dr. Alfred Marshall. He's the one who innovated those key ingredients. He's the one who found the formulas. So the whole brand story is about the guy. It's not about the ingredients. Finally, visual appeal. A lot of people think that your Instagram feed has to be perfect and it has to be color-coded. That's not what people want. People want something real. People want to be able to see themselves in your brand. You have to humanize the brand. Who you are, what are your values, what are the people behind the brand? CEOs, leaders, coordinators, any employee. Put your employees out there. They are your brand ambassadors. Here's a case study of shawarmas. Shawarmas is a restaurant, fast food restaurant in Montreal, and they offer shawarma food. What we did with them, at first they didn't believe in social media. They had a new location in Vaudreuil-Dorion, which is a little bit far of downtown Montreal. It's a residential area, and they needed to attract people. They needed people to come to their store. Without any marketing, they had 80 orders per day. Then they contacted us, and we gave them some consulting, and we suggested to do a PR campaign on TikTok. So we started creating content on TikTok of differentiation. What do they have that other shawarmas don't have on the menu? Secondly, we contacted 5 to 6 bloggers. We offered them the opportunity to come in store, try different dishes, and talk about it, create content about it. So this is how we implemented our strategy. We also used music trends that were on TikTok. And finally, we included clear call to actions. Not only we had 4.25% engagement on their TikTok account, but the influencers who created TikTok content for us had an engagement of almost 18%. That's crazy. And in terms of sales, 80% of our orders were from TikTok. We went from 80 orders per day to 450 orders per day. Now that people know about your brand, we move to the second phase, which is consideration. Your goal on this phase is to establish credibility, build trust, and position your brand as the solution of your prospects' pain points. You want people who have problems to think about your brand as the solution. How are you going to do that? You need to position yourself. That's your keyword. In terms of social media strategy, you need to provide in-depth information, showcase your brand expertise, and address your customers' pain points. First thing to do is have a product-focused content. And what I mean by that, it's not, hey, look at my product. It does this, this, and that. No. What you want is to push case studies, push customer success stories. We all are marketers. Before we launch a product, we always take a sample of clients who buy the products before, who can give us feedback. If they have success stories, use them. Interactive content, polls, stories, live on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. Personalization. That's something I tell my clients because a lot of people forget that social media are a two-way communication. It's not only you talking about your brand. Your prospects, your consumers also talk about your brand. Listen to them, interact with them, make them feel special. Influencer marketing, of course, influencers are a good way to promote your brand, but also position your brand. But I want to add something. My colleague said earlier, forget about the macro influencers, and I do agree with that. Everyone is an influencer, and I'm going to tell you a little story about that. My sister, who is an attorney, a very successful attorney, she's also a mother of 2 beautiful daughters. And she has her own circle of other mothers. When my sister goes with her daughters, she buys a new dress and she posts a story on her personal Instagram or personal Facebook. She gets at least 5 to 6 mothers who tells her, oh, where did you get that? On her daughter's birthday, she invited a group who did the animation in the birthday party. Everyone after the party came to her, hey, can you give me the number? Are they good? What's the prices? What do you think? Did you like the service? She doesn't have 65K followers. She doesn't have 6 million followers. But she has her own influence on her network. She is an influencer for those people. So everyone, anyone can be an influencer for your prospect or your lead or your future customer. Here's a case study. On the first picture you have, it says to Jacksonville. And on the second one, to Moms for Christmas. Can anyone tell me what's the difference between the two? The storytelling. To Jacksonville, yeah, okay, makes sense. You're giving me an information. But to Mom for Christmas, right away you get that emotion of family gathering in the living room with the Christmas tree, laughing, eating together. You get those emotions. And that's why storytelling is very important. You need to build that emotional connection. If there is no emotional connection, you can't interact with your customers. Here's a case study. Domaine Johansson is one of my clients at Naila Communication Agency, and they sell chalets in Mont-Tremblant. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Canada, but Mont-Tremblant is very beautiful in Quebec. It's a very beautiful place, and it's also a very expensive place. And a lot of people from Quebec, they used to go there when they were young. They have a lot of memories in there, so people are proud from that place. And our strategy to sell the 52 or 58 lots that they had, we decided to use social media to position Domaine Johansson not as, oh, go invest in Mont-Tremblant, go buy a very big chalet, it's gonna be amazing. No, 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 no. We used our developers. They were 4, 2 brothers and a couple. So we're like, okay, we're gonna use your story, guys, to build our storytelling for Domaine Johansson. So we positioned Domaine Johansson as a story of families and friends united through their passion for the outdoors and their love for Tremblant. We didn't tell people, buy this lot, it's gonna cost 115K, or this one is gonna cost 1.2 million. No. We told people to build their family patrimony, to build their family memories. You remember when you were young and you had fun in Mont-Tremblant? Well, give the same thing to your daughter, give the same thing to your son. So our implementation was to share inspiring video of an inclusive, eco-responsible environment. We featured the real-life experience of the developers. We provided tips, guides, and educational content on the outdoors activities, and we used a very strong semantic field. It was not invest en Tremblant, it was invest on your family patrimony. It was not live in Tremblant, it was live in the season, what was the tagline? I forgot about the tagline. Anyway, admire the back breathtaking landscape that changes with season. Live in the rhythm of seasons. That was the tagline. The results. Our sales increased by 30% within 2 months of this campaign. And because of this campaign, we had a little buzz on social media, and media started to talk about us, establishing Domaine Johansson as the preferred brand in investing in Tremblant, for investing in Tremblant. That's how powerful storytelling is. Now that you position your brand, you want people to take actions. You want them to convert. Your goal? People they need to take immediate action. You don't want them to think anymore. They had the time to think in the 2 first phases. You also need to facilitate the conversion process to your leads. You want them to make a purchase, to buy your product, your service. How? Your keyword is acquire. Your content strategy on social media is to showcase the value and benefits of the brand, creating a sense of urgency, and make it easy for them to buy. Your website cannot be super slow. If you can keep them in the social media platform to buy, do it. Take the time to put the right tools on your Instagram, on your TikTok, on your Twitter, wherever. Just make it easy for them to buy. You can create a sense of urgency, influencer affiliated programs, discounts. If you're a luxury brand, you don't want to go in there. You can do customization. You can do gift with purchase. You can give them an experience with that. The messaging has to be action-oriented. Your call to actions have to be straight to the point and easy. An interactive product catalog, easy to explore the offering, easy to navigate, whether it's your website or whether it's your store on Facebook or whether it's your store on Instagram. Make it appealing, make it easy. They have to be able to see the product, what they're getting. Here's one of our clients, Baba Souk. Baba Souk sells rugs and handcrafted decors that come from Morocco around the world. She wanted to increase her e-commerce sales that were going low. So what we did, we established first, our storytelling was that we established the brand as a vibrant community of individuals united by their love for unique handmade products. That was interesting. The differentiation for this brand was that if you buy that rug, you're the only one who have it. Nobody else has it. We created a sense of urgency with strong CTA. So first thing that we did is that we created, I don't know if you guys can see that, but we created an Instagram catalog. After that, we collaborated with influencers, but it's not like, unboxing, look, I got a rug. We collaborated with an Indian yoga teacher who was using our rug during her sessions. And people started asking her, oh, your rug is amazing, where did you get it? So implementation, shoppable Instagram post, shoppable story on Instagram, influencer partnership, limited time promotion, and interactive contest. We also collaborated with influencers and did giveaways. The results are insane. The Instagram shoppable posts brought an increase of 20% in our sales. The collab with the influencers brought an increase of 10% in sales from referral traffic. The promotion spiked up the sales by 30% during promotion period. But not only that, because of this campaign, the collaboration with the influencer brought traffic to the website. Our traffic increased by 15%. And that's interesting because we're going to be able to retarget those people with web ads. The contest also increased our engagement by 40%. And that generated 10K of user-generated content. Finally, retention. Retaining your existing customer is the key. How can you do that? You need to nurture the relationship. Engage and retain your current customer. How? Personalized communication. Like I said, it's a two-way communication. Exclusive group and communities. Private groups, for example, you can do that on Facebook. Social listening, be committed to your customers. If someone is not happy, listen to them. Why? How can you improve that? Customer advocacy program. That's one of our clients, LPG. I've worked with LPG while working for Daniel Henkel Enterprises. So LPG, they sell devices to spas, hotels, clinics, and hospitals. They capitalized on user-generated content on social media. So what they decided to do, hashtag with the LPG on dermology, gift card incentive for the B2B clients, take before and after pictures, and visibility for partners. The results, it established a visually capturing trustworthy brand image, and 10% of the sales were from generated content, user-generated content. And how is that? Before, LPG was using their sales representative to contact clinics, hospitals, make a sale, and then the clinic and the hospitals were promoting the program of dermology treatments to their clients. But because of user-generated content, it started to go the other way. That's why it's very important for you guys to retain your current customers. And I think I don't have time anymore, so I'm going to give you time for questions. No questions? You guys can access the presentation on our Instagram, Naila Communications, so just send us a message and we will be able to send you the presentation. Thank you.